Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Delirious Sanity here. Huge Fallout fan, and the topic for today is Fallout New Vegas. Now, when I first heard about this, which I have now heard about it from like 5 different sources, which actually all come back to the same source, so a lot of people are talking about it. Nevertheless, and it doesn't matter what name you give the next Fallout, a lot of people are going to talk about it, right? And so I kind of want to talk about my opinion and facts, I guess, backing it, but it's all sort of speculation. The first thing that I will say, though, is don't hold your breath on it. You probably will end up dying before it comes out. And, don't get too excited. Now, on to the actual information. Okay, so what gaming website, Gaming Rant, who has actually predicted quite a few things right, has come out and said Fallout New Vegas, it's probably going to come sometime, soonish, and they said that they'd come out in the next couple days with some information. Now, that was about a week ago. The first thing that points to me saying this is fake is the fact that it's been a week, and they said a couple days they'll have some factual information to prove the fact that New Vegas 2 is coming. Now let's talk about the Fallout industry real quick. So, we had Fallout 3, and 2 short years later, we had Fallout New Vegas, which is a revamp of 3, reskinned, everything completely different, nothing the same. Well, I mean, there are some similarities. Obviously, it's the Fallout franchise, but the storyline or anything like that was not anything to do with each other. Fallout 3 was pretty good, but it was kind of hard. Fallout New Vegas was really good. And it had, you had to have skill to be able to play. It wasn't for the faint of heart, but it was super enjoyable, and there was a crap ton of weapons. The game itself had so many choices. It was a great RPG. It was a great Fallout, probably the best Fallout so far. I haven't played 1 or 2, but I played 3, New Vegas, and 4. Probably New Vegas is the best. Now, if you guys remember back last year in 2016, there was the rumor about New Orleans. And when I first, literally the first time I ever heard about it, I was like, that's possible. New Orleans, I could see a lot of witchcraft shit going on. That's kind of a little bit about New Orleans. There's a lot of Wiccans and stuff like that, so you might think, hey, it's a possibility. But then we figure out that it was just a rumor. Now, let's face it, every real, true Fallout fan that has known about Bethesda, Obsidian, the business, what's going on behind the scenes of all the Fallouts, can more than likely say that they want an Obsidian Fallout next, including me. I really, 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 I'm not even religious, but I'm praying for the next Fallout to be Obsidian. That would help the Fallout franchise a fuck ton. Now, I know there's a lot of you people out there that just started playing on Fallout 4, but I will say this, as an example, I guess. Fallout 4, for a game, it was good. For a Fallout, it was not so good. That's why a lot of newcomers, they play Fallout 4 and they're like, oh, this is a great game. But then almost every single person who has ever played Fallout 3 or New Vegas and then went to play Fallout 4 was like, this isn't Fallout. What happened? And that was kind of Bethesda's, fault for implementing all kinds of sorts of new things and taking out old things that we liked. For example, building, and then they took out so many speech options, they added a voice, they made the gunplay good, yet took out a lot of guns. Some things they did, some things they didn't do, and either way, the game wasn't as good as it could have been, especially for how much hype was around the game. Now, it doesn't matter, like I said in the beginning, it doesn't matter what you call the next Fallout. I could say Fallout X or whatever, make a nice little picture for it like is here on my screen, and people will be like, oh my god, Fallout X, oh, Fallout X, let's talk about Fallout X. Is Fallout X a thing? For all of you, those people who out there get extremely excited because you see New Vegas 2 or New Orleans, I just want to tell you, I hope you're right. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're right. I'm going to say I hope you're right. I don't think you're right. I hope you're right. I pray to God that Obsidian codes the next Fallout so that they can bring back all of the roleplay game aspects of Fallout, because Obsidian is very, very good at making Fallout. However, they are making other games right now, and they are working on other things, and they're not a huge gaming company, and they don't have a crap ton of money. However, if they want a crap ton of money, smart idea would probably be to do the next Fallout. I've heard some people say Bethesda won't allow Obsidian to do the next Fallout because Bethesda made so much money off of Fallout 4 that they basically don't want to give someone half of it. And then I've heard other people say that Bethesda really wants Obsidian to do the next Fallout because Fallout 4 made so much money and they want to make a fuck ton of money again. Both points are valid. However, I mean, we've had Obsidian come out and say, like, yeah, it'd be nice to do the Fallout series. It was fun working on that series. And then we have Bethesda coming out saying it's a possibility that, somebody else is going to be coding the next Fallout. But nobody has said, yes, Obsidian is coding the next Fallout, and yes, it's going to be named New Vegas 2, or yes, it's going to be named New Orleans, or whatever the name is that you want to think of. Now, for a little bit of facts, I guess, Fallout New Vegas did come out 2.5 to 3 years after Fallout 3. And then Fallout 4 obviously came out 4 years after Fallout 3. So, there's a 4-year gap between Bethesda making games, right? And that's kind of why they did New Vegas, is because there was a 4-year gap, and they wanted to close that gap with more Fallout content, because they know us Fallout fans love the game and really want to be playing this all year long. And 4 years is a long time to play a game that only has a year of DLC and probably only 2 years of content. If you're talking about New Vegas, if you're talking about Fallout 4, then it really only has a year of content with all DLC included. So it's iffy. I mean, it has been 2 years since Fallout 4 came out. So if they follow the same path and they allow Obsidian to code the next Fallout, then yes, the next Fallout will exist, and it will indeed be probably 2017, and hopefully Obsidian. One thing that I kind of thought would be cool, because they ruined so many things in Fallout 4, and a lot of us, if they make the next Fallout like Fallout 4, we're not going to play Fallout 5 or whatever the next one is coming out, because we pretty much got punched in the face with Fallout 4 and said, okay, that hurt, Bethesda, but we're counting on you to make a good game again, and if you can't do that, then why are we even buying these games? And so it is really a tipping point on the next Fallout, and that's why I hope it's Obsidian, because I hate to say it, but they can make Bethesda's franchise better than Bethesda can. It's kind of a sad story, but what I think would be cool is if they revamped 3 again, except with better texture packs, and they basically made a completely new game, but with the Fallout 3's engine and kind of the layout and shit like that. Because Fallout 4, it'd be hard to revamp that and make it good again, or make it better than what Fallout 4 was, I guess, because there's so many things like building and settlements and all stuff like that was never in Fallout New Vegas or 3. So you would have to completely close those off and then start adding other stuff like the bartering system and the money, the weapon, patching up your weapons and all that stuff. They'd have to add that stuff in. which would really just take a long time to have when it comes to, changing up the game. I do think that the next Fallout is possibly coming in 2017, but at the same time, I'd love to see it, but if they cannot make it as good as New Vegas or better, then they should wait another year in order to release it, because that is one thing that Fallout had a lot of trouble with, is that I feel like they released it a year too early because there's so many bugs and glitches. I'm not even joking. Without mods, I can play through that game and run into 3 glitches and I can call them before they come, because of A, how predictable they are, and B, I've played that game a bunch and it's super glitchy. So they definitely need to really put some thought into their game, like Rockstar, where their games take 5 years to program. They're freaking flawless. They're really good games every time. You can count on them. And I hope that's how the future of Fallout is, and I don't know, but we're going to see. I would love to see a New Vegas 2 come from Obsidian, be a remake of 3 again, but with New Vegas stuff. I actually really liked the location of Vegas itself, and getting there was fun. The people were awesome. NCR and Legion and Brotherhood of Steel are much better than the Institute and the Railroad by far. So I would look forward to this game if I knew it really existed. Once again, don't hold your breath. I hope it exists. Pray with me, son, and let's pray that Obsidian does the next Fallout and it comes in 2017. But I don't believe it until I see it. That's why I'm not a religious man. If you can't show me the proof, then yeah, I don't know what to do. The proof is always in the pudding when they come out and say, and when they do, it will be huge. And they do it Fallout style, so they will basically have a trailer, get everyone hyped for the game, and then literally like 3 months later it'll come out, or 2 months later or so. Like it's a quick process with these Fallouts, especially nowadays where the hype is fucking raging. But at the same time, they would be competing with Red Dead Redemption 2, which comes out of fall in November, and that's another game that pretty much every gamer is hyped for. And that's kind of how the Fallout industry is. That's also how Rockstar Games industry is. People are just hyped for the games that come from these people, and let's just hope they don't disappoint us, and let's hope to see a New Vegas 2, or something better than New Vegas. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Let me know what you think of Fallout New Vegas 2, and peace out, guys.